To the game we go here. The gods of the game.
And honestly, if they are going to challenge the gods of the game, this is a particularly interesting way of doing so, right? Again, how we're going to expect to see Slanger Red Giants to attack Falcons AP Bren is winning out on these lanes and maybe setting up some dive opportunities. So Falcons AP Bren, they're great at responding.
We were talking about earlier, right, in the drafts, about Slanger Red Giants towards the ending of the drafts. They really didn't have any prio, and that's why I think, even though it's greedy, the CC pick is great, because it does give him the prio in lane up against flapTZ, and this is something you want to try to utilize. Put out there, Cram gonna be solo kill up top, assassinated. Skies looking for a play, top of the Blaze with the retribution, down, he comes down, over to KyleTZ, goes for the Blaze, but Kyle takes him out with the shurikens.
It's too fast, too quick. Falcons AP Bren with the help of Ogwen to speed up KyleTZ's farm, hits that level 4 and awkward timing, and honestly the most critical timing for the EXP laners. With that being said, flapTZ is going to get a free recall off of this, and Sky slowed down on his farm. Not exactly the most ideal, especially costing 2 kills. That's a lot of gold for Kyle so early on.
Definitely not, man. The fact that KyleTZ on a Hayabusa has 2 kills, a level lead already, right before the turtle even spawns. You would expect SRG with the CC in lane to have more prio for the turtle, but now that he's been taken down, now that Few can walk up and pop it in the Hash Chain and knock him up, and even zone him away, the missiles too, Crab brought back, no Purify. And Falcons AP Bren, they'll be happy just with that trade.
This is really good stuff from the side of Falcons AP Bren, right? Stormy is here to kind of help recover Cram's lane, but at the same time, he's leveled down, and flapTZ as well as Few making sure that he's not going to be able to participate for the upcoming fight, even setting up the proxy.
This is what's great about Falcons AP Bren, right? The fact that even when they have prio, they don't rush into neutral objectives. They still take their time, go for the buffs, get KyleTZ in a more comfortable spot. And now they have the level 4 advantage. Sky's going in, not able to get in there in time. Decimus well going to predict his Skies. Stunned up, pinned down on the wall for Kyle to take him out. 3-0 start for the Hayabusa.
Great hit with the Daytona's welcome. They didn't give them a single frame so that he could use the Tempest of Blades. Chain CC perfectly. This is why they are the final boss. It feels unfair. They always play pixel perfect.
Feels very unfair, it seems. But, I mean, we saw in an interview what flapTZ said literally boils down to, I'm better. We're better on the macro, we're better on the micro, is what he said in the interview.
Every single time that we see these teams play, we're just hoping that something is going to change, right? And I think that SRG, now that they've kind of lost tempo and losing out, and the most important thing, which is their lanes, can they bounce back? But first, the game fact.
This is the bulletproof man himself. Super Marco tops MSC 2024 with the lowest average deaths per game at 0.77, then followed by Few.
I think, to be fair, Few got done a little dirty with his stats only because he's put on a Julian of all things. But hey, still, Bulletproof Marco's still living up to his moniker. At this point in time, let's have a look at the items to see who has got what. And it looks like, oh, interesting. KyleTZ might be rushing for the Sky Piercer now that he's got quite the substantial lead for himself before finishing off the Hunter Strike.
Taking their time, it seems. I mean, for most of them, especially in the bottom lane, Innocent, he knows that this is not a winning matchup. He wants to just scale up. Doesn't really want to go for a lot of the skirmishes. So he goes for the Warrior Boots here up top. Cram pops in a Purify, has the hard guard to get him now. Sky trying to go for the chase. KyleTZ goes to the quad shot on the back line as Few is able to disengage. flapTZ rotates over, providing cover. Flicker forward by Flap. Really trying to get Skies there to punish him, but now that's a big flicker, big ultimate down. 12 seconds for the next neutral objective.
Still, the hard guard's not going to be back up when this turtle fight does commence, right? And at the end of the day, it still feels like FCAP is trading up. They're still taking away camps from Skies at this point of time. The real question is, when exactly do they actually want to commence a full-blown team fight?
No Decimus welcome. The missiles does connect onto Cram, who's going to be dealing a lot of damage now with the Curtains call onto Falcons AP Bren. 2-level lead on KyleTZ. Skies hovering over Cram again, doing some damage. Minus Fury by Ogwen. Knock 2 members off straight into the enhanced sight. KyleTZ secures the retribution. Now Kyle just jumps back and forth. 2-0 in kills too.
This early game is completely disastrous. Falcons to AP Bren, they're going to be able to control this for the next 8 minutes or so. And I think that's Slanger Red Giant. Oh, I mean, they're trying, but at the end of the day, right, they've been slowed down significantly. Look at this.
1v4 in the bottom lane with a hard guard down. Innocent trying to run away, gets chopped down, and he got taken out inside of the belly.
It's too tough. It's too tough. Look at the priority, right? Falcons AP Bren pushing up the tempo, and nobody can really win 1v1 anymore, right? Slinger Red Giants now getting punished for their greedy lineup. This is going to cost them and potentially cost them game number 1. But let's have a look at the hero matchups here, because right now, the actual win rate compared to the theoretical win rate, 100% for Skies.
Retribution earlier, Calteezy was able to steal away, now jumps into the quad shadow, gets pinned down, but is able still to escape. These little mistakes, but the instant recovery from Falcons AP Bren.
I mean, like Leo likes to mention, right? It's a game of inches. And Falcons AP Bren,
millimeters
right now,
at this point.
They're playing with feet, right? They're extending their lead even further. And at this point of time, when we look at the items, I think, you know, at least for FlapTZ, he's playing it safe, right? Go for the Dom Eyes. You're already up against the CC. He's not going to greed out and go for the War Axe straight away. But the real concern is that Kyle is already 4-0-1. And not to mention, even few, just poking people out with enhanced size, good enough.
The Shadow Kill, the Sky Piercer execute, takes him out. Even with the hard guard, Stormy couldn't save him. And this is what's special, I would say, about Flap. He knows exactly, wait, up top, Bulletproof Marco. Trying to go into 1v1 against the Assassin, and Skies is forced back. FlapTZ! Flickers forward, Nom into the wall, straight onto Super Marco. Ogwin knocks him up. And he takes the kill with the small hammer he has.
Oh man, Falcons AP Bren making this look easy. What a lead that they've generated for themselves. Slinger Red Giants, they have to forfeit every single time Falcons AP Bren takes space. You gotta give it away. There's no point fighting this early on, especially when you're 8-0 in total kill score. But not only that, look at that level lead.
That's few. That's the mid lane, who's on an Assassin. He can't even, clear these waves usually. But here in this matchup, he's been able to find so much prio, and that's why you see that damage. Golden Staff, at least for Innocent, we're seeing him get towards item. Power Spike, Cram, gonna dash away, Yomes with the flicker forward, onward, and the Earth Shatter, but Miss Fury catches 4 on the board, knock up 2. Kyle shut down by Cram. Now on the chase, it's FlapTZ running away for his life, but Super Marco on the Lycan form. Yomes brought back to the team, another Earth Shatter to knock them up for Innocent. To continue, the spear hits.
You know, what am I doing here, right? What am I even doing here? A forfeit, give up space. Yeah, I take it all back. Just play pixel perfect. Kill Calteezy while he still has his ult. Don't give him a frame to react.
And they're on the board. The momentum slowly shifting, but if we take a look at the goalie, Gideon, it's still massively in favor of Falcons AP Bren, still flying across the skies, looking down at the Red Giants.
I think at this point, when we're looking at SRG, their main winning factors is, can they drag this out long enough so that people like Innocent, people like Sakai can actually catch up to get that critical mass. But unfortunately, it's going to be a little slow, so we're paying attention to Yums and his battle spells. Whenever he has it up, he is looking for an opportunity to lock down Calteezy like he did previously.
It's all about Yums, so it almost seems like in games before the Grand Finals, every time he's on to Eden, every time he has a flicker, he'll use it. Just like that now, the kite back up against FlapTZ, who decided not to commit the dead zone as welcome. And we get to take a look at the items here again for the in-game equipment. FlapTZ, like you said, taking the utility route on this game. Dominance Ice straight into the Sky Guardian helmet. He knows exactly what this pick is meant to do. It's meant to frontline for Super Marco, for Kyle. And we're seeing that with the Quad Shadow and the Shadow Kill into the back line right now, doing a lot of damage. Krem needs a photo proc. Kyle's able to escape with a Quad Shadow, dodging away from the Earth Shatter that was well placed by Yums.
This gives a lot of information, right? Calteezy, he's already so far ahead. As long as he doesn't die, that's totally okay, right? Yes, he did lose a couple of Sky Piercer stacks, but it doesn't mean that he isn't like level 13, 9 minutes into the game compared to Sky's full 3 levels ahead of the man. It's tough to argue, but at this point in time, we're just hoping and waiting to see whether the Heart Guard is going to get dropped.
Again, these Quad Shadows by Kyle, using it just to poke, slowly but surely. They bit out the curtain call though. Cram, no ultimate. Wait, Calteezy
Spot him out? No,
on
they
the
don't spot
Lord.
a few.
Seems like they're trying to just sneak this one in. So long as Red Giants still focus on their own purple buff. And even then, it's forced out by FlapTZ. Retribution still there for them. Minus Fury into the death zone. Welcome, canceling out the Minus Fury there. And it's going to be the knock up to Cake Yums down. Now into the back line. Attempts to Blaze. Knocking Few up straight into Skies' Blaze. FlapTZ going to be taken down. That's a double for Skies. Looking for a triple as he marches forward. Skies continues the onslaught. Kyle forces the Shadow Kill. Super Marco chases Innocent in the back line right now. Kyle is in a 1v3. No Shadow Kill, but he does have the Quad Shadow. Going back and forth. Super Marco goes in and finds the Lycan Pounce. Skies looking for it. The spear catches him. Skies finds an unofficial Maniac.
Oh my goodness! How did it end up like this? Falcons AP Bren, they lost sight of what exactly they were fighting for. They already had the objective that they wanted to. They wanted to extend their lead. They may have shown a bit of disrespect, but Slango Red Giants made it messy, kind of split them apart. Keep in mind, Falcons AP Red, they don't mind diving, but they still have to maintain that front to back. And if the damage lands on the correct targets, like Innocent, like Cram, who as of right now is catching up real fast with the brute force breastplate. Now, after the early game, he's 1-3-6, but the same goal, if not more, than Flapteezy.
That's some scary stuff right now. The scaling of SRG, the CC, the Ling, the Moskov. It's a very greedy lineup for SRG, but if they are able to somehow find those gold resources and place them onto these three members, it'll be very scary in the late game. Even the CC, he'll be able to actually withstand a 1v1 against Kalteezy. I think maybe he might go for the winner Crown Fu. And then later on in the side lanes, maybe Kyle will have to send over another member, maybe with few together to really deal with him.
I think they got to start changing their habits up here for the side of Falcons AP Brand. Looks like SRG has a bit of a read on them, and at the end of the day, it's all about landing the damage on the correct targets. I think better yet, hold on. Does he want to go for the info? Yes, he does. He's all 5.
Flask of the Oasis still there, though, and he'll be able to escape with the Quad Shadow. Skies goes in, chasing the back line. Tempers the Blaze, knocking him up right into the spear as well. Skies finds the assassination in the back base. View out. Super Marco with a gun down. Finding the shutdown back, and it will be a trade. Both junglers down. But Innocent wants to continue. Pin down Yums. Finds an Earth Shatter. Stormy in the back line going to be taken down by Flap as he stops him on the ground. But take a look at Yums and Innocent, who is still free hitting. Gets caught by the enhanced sight. There's a Flask of the Oasis from Ogwin's Motivation Roar. But Cram is still able to escape. View and Ogwin. Now with Marco. The chase flicker forward. The Lycan pounce. Will not give anything for Cram to deal with him. Innocent in a 1v3, that one with a nature as well. Tells forward, Super Marco finds it with a nature, scratches him down, and finds the double.
He tries to outplay it. That's going to be a full wipeout here. A double kill for Super Marco. What an interesting approach. Slango Red Giants make a play of their own to take out Kyle, reset his Sky Piercer stacks, but unfortunately, Few is quite a problem. These extended fights are working out much better for Falcons AP Bren, thanks to the Julian. He doesn't have to wait for a long ultimate. He just needs 8 seconds.
And now Minotaur. Ogwin has the winner crown, Gideon. That's the combo we were waiting for with the Minotaur, especially when they're snowballed. Yums, Earth Shatter R2, but the Minion's Fury knocks them up. Cram gets thrown away. The Spirit of Destruction into the back line. Yums trying to survive now, even with the Shadow Kill. Skies no purple buff, still desperately going for it. Tap the Blaze, now on the Super Marco. Skies finds the shutdown. Now it's a Kyle! It's Skies who continues the fight. And now onto the Lord he goes. Cram in a 1v3, trying to deal some damage. Stormy tries to heal him from across the wall. Skies finds it. Now with the Finch poise, over to Few. He continues the damage with the winner crown. Saves him for a bit. Few trying to chase him down. Sky's still surviving. Cram with a cleanup, and Few will be taken down.
Are you not entertained? Game number 1 from an abysmal early game. Somehow SRG are the ones who bounce back. Skies makes a play of a lifetime. And Ling, you can't count him out.
You can never count them out. Sky's in the mid lane now, trying to take the tier 2, and he will be able to do so. He started this game 0-3. He didn't have a purple buff in that team fight.
He didn't, but he does now have 4 items. He's scaled up finally. And honestly, he has more farm than Kyle after having a 4-0 start. And they're cracking open the inhibitors. And I think that SRG, they gotta call it quits at some point.
Kyle with the damage, jumps onward forward. Earth Shadow Flicker combo, Skies trying to capitalize on this. Has the time as a Blaze, dodges away from the Minus Fury, catches Super Marco, but now gets chain CC'd. So Labor survived for a bit, knocked down by Flapteezy. Shut down by Flap. Stormy caught in the immobilization as Kyle finishes him off. And finally, Falcons AP Bren, they find the chance to slow it all down again.
I think it doesn't matter, right? With more people dying at this point in time, we look at the waves and we can understand, unless, no, he wouldn't. What?
Innocent? He tried to Spirit of Destruction, doesn't get that Few! Deletes him from the Lanadon, now it's a wipeout for Falcons AP Bren!
Why overheat? Why overheat? They could have just reset off of this. The waves were in a position where they couldn't get punished, and now they're definitely going to be losing something off of this. Sky's coming back up in 1 and Stormy in 1 as well. They could try 1v3 once more.
No purple buff though. Again, same problem for him. Does seem like for Yums, he will be able to just pressure them away from that mid turret, but the base turret will be taken down already. Skies barely dodging away, doesn't want to commit the Temper the Blaze just yet, buys the Rose Gold Meteor in time, and Falcon's AP Bren will be happy just with the 2 base turret stick.
I'm telling you, Mirko, this game is starting to look like a war of attrition now. It's like I trade 1 inhibitor, Falcon's AP Bren, we're going to take 2, which begs the question, what is SRG's response? No purple buff once again from both of these assassins, and Kyle in particular, with that purple buff, is going to be able to do a lot more in these tight situations. 30 more seconds as we look at the items. We're seeing that the biggest problem at this point of time is the fact that, hey, if we want to get into these fights, Ogun, you gotta have your flicker back up. And Yums, his is coming up in 16 seconds, but with a Holy Crystal on top of everything else from Few, that really begs the question, can Innocent truly outplay everybody without the help of the Heart Guard?
A game of millimeters, a game of inches. SRG and Falcon's AP Bren. So far for both of these teams, they're still able to keep the far lane base turret intact. So they'll still have an advantage to play with, technically. I think Falcon's AP Bren with the mid lane constantly pushing in. Now this is a point where Yums onward in the Earth Shatter over to Flap Teasy. Just with a little bit of poke from Innocent. No teams wanting to go for it, but my question is, Gideon, is this good for SRG? Do they want the mid lane to actually be pushing towards them so that Innocent, so that Cram, so that even Skies can keep farming up, getting those resources?
I don't know. I think that SRG, they want to fight for this, right? I think they know that once the Lord starts crashing in towards their crystal, it's going to be really difficult to high ground defense. Keep in mind, Stormy is playing Angela. Now, Angela is not known to have the greatest wave clear. Oh.
Her Shadow Flicker combo, ulted onward, Flap finds the backline with the Detonas. Welcome now straight into Kyle Teasy. With a shadow kill, used up in the back line, able to back away. Skies chasing them all with the Finch poise, running him down now with the Temper of the Blades as well. Kyle able to dodge away from the knockup, but will not be able to dodge away from the rest of the Blades. Meanwhile, it's a knockup and a 2 straight into Cram, who's going ham with the yo-yos. And Skies somehow finds a way to escape, but the